And we're sitting down with head coach Thomas Bachman once again of the Ash Trojans. Coach, what's happening?
What's going on? Been a while.
It's been a couple of weeks. Look, time just gets away pretty quick. We're probably about 50 days away from kicking things off.
About a month out from, I guess a little more than a month from the scrimmage. So yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, because that's the 23rd against Acadiana,
Yep.
right?
Yep. So I was
Goodness.
looking at some stuff this morning. Yeah, it's coming in a hurry. It's amazing how fast time can go. When you get busy and just the next thing, it just keeps coming. But
and nothing like throwing a little golf tournament in the mix of all of that while you're trying to rush for everything. We'll talk about that in just a minute here. But does it seem? Am I wrong in this, or maybe I am, that the football season has started a little later? School started a little earlier. It seems I remember you'd start school and that first week was a jamboree.
I don't know. I don't know what's all changed, to be honest with you. It's all the same to me. Be back in the office in the morning, and the thing is, early in the year, as you get ready, and as we get ramping up for the season, getting the kids back in school and getting those routines established are always, the summer people are vacationing and doing their thing, and rightfully so. Fully support that. Try and tell our kids, go take vacations, but school gets everybody back in structure, and that's the greatest thing about it. But yeah, a lot going on, as is just it always is. It'll be here, but I'm looking forward to Thursday nights. I'm looking forward to Friday nights. I'm looking forward to just getting into it and seeing what we can turn this team into.
I want you to know that I'm following your lead, and I'm doing some summertime practices. I've been heading over to walk-ons about once a week to get prepared for the Thursday night that's coming up.
Trying out some different dishes, seeing what you're going to get.
How am I going to rightfully promote a fine establishment, which, by the way, we're in year 5 of doing it over there, too, if I don't go and try some of those different things? So I feel like I owe it to them to go and eat there more often.
Absolutely. No, I've always been, about that. Try to support the people that, that support, high school football, that support us, and for whatever it is, sometimes just a drop in the bucket, but, certainly want to support the people that support us, and, on a personal and professional level. There's just, it's hard to believe. As you mentioned, year 5, at walk-ons, and this makes year 10 for me at Ash.
Right.
It seems like yesterday that we were just beginning this journey, and you sit around and you think about it. This is home. We love it here in Alexandria. It's all really, that Abram and Ella Claire really have known. This is home to them, and
they've grown up.
It's gone fast, and just very appreciative of the support on a personal and a professional level. And we want to, obviously you want to say thank you with your mouth, with your words, but I hope the biggest thank you comes from the job that you try to do each and every day, the effort that you give, and the way that you try and give back with your actions. I think that's the biggest thing. So, I don't know what made me reflect on all that, as you just mentioned year 5. It seems like yesterday, it really does. People are like, man, how long you been at Ash? And I'll say next season will be season number 10. People are like, you've been there it just goes fast. Yeah. Been here that long, and it's been awesome.
Look, it's been a lot of fun. I remember going to dinner with you and Kim, with my wife and I, after the first season. Yeah. And do you remember what I gave you that night?
You put me on the spot. I got a good memory. I got a really good recall.
Okay, and, I wrote it on a napkin.
The radio play. The radio play. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
We're in year 10 now, Coach, and I'm not saying it.
Play 1 of this year. You never know. Or a variation of it, or a variation of it.
I think that's how y'all get me, though, is that it's a variation. It's a very loose variation of it, but I'll take it anyway.
I do remember that. I can remember where we were sitting. I don't know why, but I can vividly see us sitting at that table having dinner and just enjoying the company. And that's really what Thursday nights are. Just enjoying each other's company with with a great group of coaches, great group of kids, a great community, and looking forward to getting back into it.
Well, we've taken this week has been a vacation week for us, away from the daytime job, and so it's given the opportunity to go around and visit with all of our sponsors and our advertisers on there. And we go in there, and I'm trying to do our best not to take up a lot of their time, but we just sit there and talk football.
Yep.
We just we so the comments are starting to pop in, and so I'll give this one of the entrants in your golf tournament tomorrow is wondering who's coming in second because they feel like they already have first place wrapped up. So we'll get to that in just a bit too.
I can tell you I don't know.
Well, now in the past, y'all have had one of your guys that's hit the ball pretty well.
Coach Hunter has always put together a really strong team. Coach Hunter, Chris Queen, those guys have always been I mean, they've won it more times than not. I can say that.
Right.
And I think we've got some really good teams. I don't necessarily know, whose golf game is on what level, but Coach Russo tells me now there's some good teams in it this year.
Thankfully, I think it's not going to be 110 degrees out there. But tell me a little bit about what the idea behind that golf tournament is. And I've played in it for several years and have not worried about it, not even sniffed second place. I think I get the trophy for finishing at the bottom of it. So, but
it's a good time.
That's what I'm going to say. The atmosphere that's out there is phenomenal. So tell me a little bit about, one, what all goes on around there, but two, what it does for the program.
It's just a 4-man golf scramble, and we want to get out on the course and, be driving around from hole to hole, really trying to serve people. It's about the camaraderie of a lot of people that support us and a lot of people that support the program, and just trying to get together for a couple hours on a Friday afternoon and enjoy each other's company and, try and take the time where, hopefully it's an enjoyable, event for people that they can associate with the program and, support a little bit. People, the support is through the roof. I mean, it's just couldn't be. I mean it when I say thank you. The support has been great, and we couldn't do it without a lot of these people. And so the atmosphere is really laid back. Want to treat them, be lunch served. Walk-ons will serve lunch tomorrow at noon, and then we'll tee off at 1 o'clock, play, and try and drive around and say hey and serve everybody that's participating.
Look, I think you have as much fun not participating in it as anybody does out there. You drive around this year. I'm going to come out there and I'm going to take that side of it.
Come on.
And not participate in it. Well, we did have a question that said they were asking if there were any sponsors needed. There's always an opportunity to help out the program, I know.
Yeah, I mean, we I know a lot of people do whole sponsors and different stuff, and we just have not done a whole lot of that, to be honest with you, because between all the sports and all the schools, everybody's hit the same way. I mean, and so people buy fence signs from us and do all kinds of things. Just trying not to wear the same people out over and over and over and over again with every time we turn away. So,
so it's more of
a
thank you and a good time.
Yeah. I mean, to say that we don't make a little bit of, we'll more than pay for the golf tournament, and we'll put some money in the Touchdown Club, and it'll be beneficial, and we'll use that, and it'll serve the program
going towards that.
But as far as just
that new press box.
Yeah, no, one day. It's funny that you say that. I went over. I toured Tioga's for the first time, and was talking with a couple of their guys. Got to see some renderings for their field house, and got to look at their field, the new turf that they laid down, the replacement, and it's beautiful. And I mean, hopefully more great things are coming in the future. Obviously, we'll be starting on the field house, and if anybody's been by the school, they can see baseball and softball going, and just a lot of things going on. So the person that asked, I mean, we'll always take, I'm not going to turn it away, but, to go and try not to use it as an opportunity to go around and just hammer the same people over and over.
Well, and what this does is this is the final setup before really the season gets going. So it's an opportunity for a lot of the alumni, boosters, fans of the program, that Trojan Nation, to get together. And what better way than out on the golf course on a Friday afternoon?
That's right. Enjoying each other's company, and
So it was Cam Fernberg that asked us this question, and
gotcha.
Cam, we appreciate you for that. Anybody that's got a comment or a question for us, you can just post it right on there. And that's the beauty of live interviews, Coach. Folks can fire a question.
I'm all about that. Sometimes it can get a little interesting, but about that too. Open book and answer any question that's asked, or try to.
There you go. And you'll do it on Thursday nights out at Walk-On.
That's right.
As always. So the last time that we had talked a little bit about week 1 in West Feliciana and how things get off to a start, because we make through Acadiana in the scrimmage, which is coming up on the 23rd. Then you have Sterlington in the Jamboree, which will be here before you hit the road for West Feliciana. Take us through week 2 and week 3 of what it holds for the Trojans.
Back on the road in week 2, heading up to Farmerville, Union Parish. They're coming off the state championship game where, they went for 2 there at the very end with, seconds left and scored to win 36-35, beat St. James. So coming off a championship. Of course, I think they've played in 3 or 4 straight now. 4 straight, I think, is
well. When you had Trey Holly running the ball for you, that didn't hurt things for sure.
No, that never hurts. And
as we get questions and comments, Coach, I'm going to interrupt and go through them real quick. But it's one of the great friends of the program, Janelle Sadler, and she says, "Let's go Trojans." So
absolutely.
Big shout out to her and Sadler's Towing. And spent a lot of time with her yesterday.
Yep, supported for a long time. The entire family, just incredible people. Very giving, very supportive. Of course, Gabe, played for me, and he's
got to see him at his
graduation.
Yeah, from
got
the
to see a couple of the boys graduate. Yep.
So congratulations to him. That's right.
Absolutely. So yeah. Hello.
But, there's not a lot of guarantees in this world. 10 games is what you told me. You're always guaranteed. And if we're at Walk-Ons, there's 3 things that's guaranteed: me, you, and Janelle will be there. So that's
right. And always look forward to it. I mean, she's just, she's been a great friend, supporter, advocate, behind the scenes helper in so many ways that, to sit here and say thank you, it'll never, it'll never do justice to really the depth of the thank you that needs to be said to her.
All right. So Union Parish, week 2, we hit the road and go up there, and all that tape delay nonsense is out of the way. We'll be able to carry these games for you. So we'll get that worked out. I don't know where it's going to be or how it's going to be. I've never been up there, but looking forward to it for sure. So tell us a little bit about what we'll see.
Just a very, well-coached, disciplined, physical football team. I haven't done a whole lot of research into, who's returning, but I do hear that they've got a lot of returning players and a lot of returning starters off of last year's team. So,
right.
Program, coach is known for playing up and challenging himself. And, they're really another one of these programs that'll play anybody at any given time. And they've proven that through the years, and they've played well, against all forms of competition. So we'll have our work cut out for us. And, it's usually a great atmosphere up there. A lot of community support. Football's important. And so it'll be a good test for us on the road there. 2 weeks to open the year, both on the road.
It will be an atmosphere, to say the least. So you start out in the Jamboree, of course, Acadia and the scrimmage. You start out with Sterlington. Those 2 games are not exhibitions, but you get the idea. And then and you open up with West Feliciana on the road. Union Parish on the road. Things start out. I mean, that's a gauntlet away, and then you roll into week 3, finally at home.
Yep, finally get a home game. We'll play Destrehan, and anybody that's been around high school football knows the name Destrehan and the success that they've had, and so that'll be our home opener, our regular season home opener. And what is that? The 20th?
Should be September 14th. 21st is what it should be.
September 20th. We'll play a home game there against Destrehan, and I guess they won the state championship. I'm getting in 2022. They were the quarterfinal team last year.
And that's one of those. That's one of those games that got in. For you, it hasn't changed. I get that, but for me on the broadcast side of it, it got a little more intriguing when their big safety commits down to LSU in that game. So you've got JT Lindsey, and then you've got the two LSU big time commits going at each other. And I know that means nothing to you guys when you do the X's and O's, but it's kind of neat.
Yeah, I mean, it's name recognition and, marquee players. And I think it's why you play, to really challenge yourself. And that's certainly another one that of all the people that you play, I mean, there's as much name recognition for Destrehan and the program that they've had over the past couple of decades. I mean, it's been a while now. They've been a contender every year, trying to punch that ticket to the Superdome and play in it. And so just another great matchup.
You and I, you talked about it a lot of times, and you use the word program, not a team, but a football program. And that's what they have down at Destrehan.
Yeah, it's been rolling for quite a while. Of course, Coach Robichaud is retired, and Coach Scott is now, taking over and taking the reins, and he's rocking and rolling the state championship in 22. And I mean, they're going to be a challenge. I mean, bringing great teams. I mean, I think of all the people that have been through, one that we've traveled and played, but also that we've had, come through and play there at our field. I mean, just some
right.
Great programs. And this is another one. I don't know if there's ever been a matchup. I didn't necessarily look through all the history or whatever, but, certainly bringing another top tier opponent right here to Alexandria. And
that's as big of an early season matchup that I think you'll find in the Alexandria, because we went to St. Thomas more, down to East Ascension, but different places. But it's as big as a game as the one was 2 or 3 years ago that we hosted St. Thomas more. And do you ever sit back after you've made this schedule and go, gosh, dog, what was I thinking?
I don't know. No, sometimes my wife does. She tells me, what are you doing? Just, I don't know. You play, and it prepares you. And then you compartmentalize so much in this,
right.
in this game, in this profession, where, you try not to look at it as a whole thing. You just take it as it comes at you. Hey, I think Coach Napier was saying some of this stuff that I was reading an article about, where he's talking about compartmentalizing. Hey, the next 7 days are very important. Hey, the next 7, you just keep, pouring yourself into the next one and the next one and the next one. And, I also think it calluses your kids to, what it takes to prepare, because, if you're going to make a run in the playoffs, that's the way it's going to be. It's going to be week after week after week where you're needing to play your best football. And, so
well,
I don't know that you think about it anymore other than,
well, when you're looking for that ideal matchup, you're not looking at week 3 and 4 and saying, well, I can't do this, I got to do this. Look, if there's a week 3 matchup for you, you got to get it. We're not going to talk about it tonight, but you got Manny coming in for homecoming, which is a great one. Not to mention Opelousas, a state champion in their own right in week 4.
Yeah, and we'll be back on the road playing a defending reigning state champion in Opelousas. But, as far as the home schedule, if you were to break it down, I'm sure there's been some incredible, home schedules throughout, the whole history of our school, the past 53, 54 years or whatever.
Right.
It is. But if you were to just take this year's home schedule, if people were to come out and say, hey, I'm just going to take in the home games. I mean, it's Acadiana, Sterlington, Destrehan, Manny, West Monroe, Ruston, Neville. I mean, I feel like all of them have won a state championship within the last decade. I'm trying to remember. West Monroe was in it in 18. I think they played Zachary. They were in it again maybe in 15, 16, whenever they played Landry.
They're all teams that have been to the Dome.
Yeah, I mean, just
in there, and that's just phenomenal.
The home schedule is no reason not to have season tickets, and we need the stands full. We need to. I'm really looking forward to it. Right now, we're just trying to. We had a good morning this morning. Got after the kids pretty hard. They responded well. It was a tough run day. they were challenged. You couldn't talk your way out of it. Couldn't talk about how tough you were. You either had to be about it or it was about you. And I was proud of the way that the kids responded.
We're going to finish up. It's been a little bit longer, but I mean, dadgummit, when we
Has
didn't
it?
talk,
Yeah. Hey, it's not Thursday night. We don't have an hour.
We borrowed some of last week's time for this line, so that's why we talked about week 2 and week 3. Big shout out to Scott Maybu and those folks at BK Distributors, big sponsors of ours too, and they advertises with us, and he's watching along. So big shout out to him as well. So you've wrapped up your 7-on-7s. You're through the spring. Tell me a couple of big things that stood out to you as those moments where you go, that I didn't know that, but that's we can use that.
Big moments, I mean, I think it's some of the same names. I thought that Darius and Jimmy had really pretty solid summers, as far as moments. I mean, really, creating some depth is been some of the big moments. I do feel like we've got to where, we can get in some different packages. There's some D linemen that we still have to continue to develop and see if they're really ready for this deep end that they're going to get thrown in with the people, some of these young D linemen to give us a little bit more depth. But, I'd say the biggest thing is are we going to have enough depth to be able to match different personnel on each side of the ball where, you say 11 starters, but if you're playing in a different personnel package or a sub package where you're playing with more D linemen or more secondary guys, the more opportunities, where rather than just have 11, now we've got, 4 or 5 different defensive linemen that can give us some reps, and same thing with. So I don't know that really answered the question. If I'm, as far as that jumped out to you,
it did, because it was one of the questions that we had is, you're looking about it, who's going to be those 11, but in order to survive a schedule like this, you got to find out who the 22
are. Yeah, you need more than 11 for sure.
That's right. You won't make it. You won't make it out of week 1 or 2 with no depth. And I think that you've been the one giving them that you guys and your coaching staff, which is phenomenal. I got to get my buddy Merce on here too and talk to him.
Yeah,
I hadn't talked to him in a few months, and so he's always interesting for a sound bite. Big shout out to Under the Lights and Jordan Taylor, who is chimed in and watching us tonight. Got an impressive helmet collection. All of the folks that he interviewed.
I watched y'all's interview a week and a half ago, something like that. I watched.
We got to get him some Central Louisiana helmets down there too. He's got an incredible collection of those, and I'm collecting jerseys now. So my wife won't let me put football helmets in my house since that's the studio. So
they take up a lot of space. Trust me, I got to store them at the school there. They take up some space.
Coach, what do you tell us tomorrow? One last thing as we get out of here about the golf tournament. Do you still have room for anybody, or is it full?
Yeah, I think it's out on social media. If you you contact Coach Russo, he'll get you added, and it's not too late to sign up. Lunch is at noon. Shotguns start at 1:00, and we need this weather to get out of here in the morning so that we can have a great afternoon and enjoy each other's company and have a great day.
Well, I'll sit by you in the golf cart, and we'll go around and we'll send everybody on there. And,
let's do it.
And we'll bring something out tomorrow as one of your silent auctions or your giveaways or whatever you want to do. There'll be something from 446 Sports to thank the folks as well.
Good. I'd love that. Yeah, you mentioned a couple of mugs, and
yep.
We want to take care of.
We'll do that, and just another way to thank the folks for coming out and supporting it. Big shout out to Brett Stallsby, who's watching there, does all production. So brother-in-law is watching along tonight, and he's after us. He says, man, we need some practice runs. We need to get back. We need to do the scrimmage. We need to do all of this. And I told him, I said, look, we just finished up in May, and he's been sweating it since football. He is pure football and ready to go. We got a big crew coming out there, Coach, and excited for Ash football.
Awesome. It's going to be awesome.
Coach, thank you, and tell Miss Kim thank you for letting us have a little bit of time with you this evening, and we'll see you out there tomorrow.
All right, buddy. See you tomorrow.
There you go, guys. Head coach Thomas Bachman of the Ash Trojans getting ready for a tremendous season, and he's getting ready for that big golf tournament tomorrow, Coach. We'll see you out there on the greens tomorrow.
All right. Looking forward to it.